All right. I'm out here in a lake park. It looks really nice, right? And I'm recording. It's a test record, and I'm just gonna talk about something that comes in my mind. And I hear some fishes jumping up the pond. I hear like I hear some fish sounds. Um, I don't know. I was trying to record something, but I didn't want it to pick a topic from my phone. I have a lot of topics written on my phone. Like it's like a idea bank, but I was like I want to pick something that comes in my mind right now, just right now. So, this topic comes in my mind. Should I just like stand still? Like why am I like walking around like I'm on a telephone, like I'm on a phone call, when people go on a phone call, they like walk around the room, like climb the sofa, you know what I mean? Like they do those stuff. Um I guess it's happening to me right now. Let me just check the camera cuz the camera's pretty small. I can't really see what's going on. Oh, I'm walking away. So, um recently I learned this word called helper's high. Now, um, runner's high, where people who run for a long time, like when you run for more than like an hour or I guess like no, not an hour. It's like 10 minutes. When you run like more than like 10 or 20 minutes, your body starts to adapt and um, exert or like start to pump out dopamine, I think. So you start to adapt and feel like happy. Like you start to feel like, oh, this is it. I can do it. That's runner's high. And there's a thing called helper's high. So what helper's high is when you help someone else without expecting any rewards, then that's purely from altruism. Is that the right word? In Korean, it's called itashim, but I guess in English, I think it's called altruism. But I don't know if it's the right pronunciation. But it's basically the characteristic or the mind to help some other entity without any without expecting anything back. So it's like a true helping mind. And I didn't realize when I was young, but when I got older, it really represents me a lot because there's this one story I want to tell you. Like when I was in university, I was like 20 years old, 21 years old. I was in Aju University and I was in my major was physics. And like there's a lot of assignments. So all the students were doing assignments and I was like, hey, I like doing this assignment. If you want, I can do it for you. And like some friends didn't understand it. Like I even made like programs with my coding skills to like make a program that does the assignment for you. Like punch in some numbers and boom, the answer comes out. But some of my friends said, hey, like don't do that because you're making yourself what do you call that, like silly or funny. Like in Korean it was hogu. That means like you're basically like making yourself look funny. But I was like, I don't care because I like doing this. I like helping others. Like, you know, if I don't care, why would I care about how others think about me? Like I was built like that. And I think that came from my mom and dad. My mom and dad are both very helpful people. They like to help others, like a lot. And I think that DNA is inside me too. So whenever I see someone who is having a hard time or like struggling, but there's a requirement. Like if that person is like vulnerable, then I want to help them. If that person is capable of lifting themselves up, like for example, like a full grown man, a full grown woman who is like, you know, like capable of standing up. I mean, they can stand up by themselves, right? But if it's a kid, or if it's a granny or a grandpa who fell over, and they're having a hard time standing up, I mean, then you want to help them, right? Is it only me? I mean, I would be like just go straight and be like, just give my hand and be like, you want some help? Here, let me help you out. I would say that. And whenever I do that, like, I'm not expecting like an Instagram story or a post. I'm not trying to show myself to the world that, hey, look, I'm a very nice man. Like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just doing it because I like to help others. And whenever I do that and just walk away, not even telling my name, I'm just, help them. Okay, you're good? Okay, bye. Like, when I do that, it feels good inside me. It feels like I ate some good meal. Like, not that level of satisfaction, but it feels satisfying. And that is called helper's high. Let me talk while I'm, looking at the camera. It is called helper's high. And the reason why human race has helper's high developed is because we humans have a lot of abundant resource compared to other animals. So when you have a lot of resource to share, the probability of your group surviving increases when you share with others, not being selfish and like taking all the food for yourself. Because I'm a human and I'm alive, but I don't count as a human right now. I mean, I do, but like what I'm saying is Homo sapiens, a human race counts as a Homo sapiens when they are included in a group. Like, we are called a superorganism. A group of a village, like a village or a city, is one count. You know what I mean? Like how you don't count one ant as an ant. You count an ant colony as one ant, what you call it, like module? One ant city, one ant colony, like one ant thingy, species. Humans are also like that. A single human can also survive by themselves, like, for sure. But it's way better to survive with a group. And that's where this helper's high and everything comes in. If you have a lot of abundant resource, it's better to share, and that increases. Like, it's not because sharing is good. It's not because sharing is like objectively a better thing. In nature, there's no good or bad. It's just what brings you more numbers. And in the nature, in the evolutionary perspective, a group who helped their own like group mates or like neighbors or friends had a higher, like even slightly a higher chance of survival of the whole group and more reproduction. So it's in a scientific way, there's nothing good or bad, but the reason why helper's high has been developed inside a human brain is because it helped our ancestors to survive more and maybe breed more or reproduce more, blah blah blah. And there's another species who shows some actions like this. It's bonobos, these primates, they share food with others. So chimpanzees and bonobos are very, very like similar. They're very close, like extremely close DNA. But funny thing is, chimpanzees live above this river. Like there's one river, and chimpanzees live above there, sharing their land with gorillas, I think, and they have they have to compete over food and land. So the way chimpanzees evolved is they are very aggressive. So if there's food, the alpha male takes it all, and it like, you know, takes everything, and others has to like eat the scrumbles. But bonobos are different. They live below the river, and surprisingly, below the river, like that area, doesn't have like gorillas, and it has like more abundant food compared to where the chimpanzees live. So bonobos evolved to have a more sharing mind, while chimpanzees had to compete. So, like, think about it. For chimpanzees, because there's scarce food, like the food is like the food supply is low. If a chimpanzee was like so nice to others, that chimpanzee would die. Like you know what I mean? Like that, there might be a chimpanzee who was born with a helper's high DNA, like an altruistic chimpanzee. So that chimpanzee just gave out his or her food to other chimpanzees. Then what happens is that chimpanzee has a higher probability to die and not reproduce, and the other selfish chimpanzees who were like, hey, okay, I'll take it, who takes the food and eats well and reproduce well, would have a even slightly higher chance of reproduction. So in an environment where resources are scarce, selfish genes have a higher chance of reproduction, and selfless, like altruistic genes, have a lower chance of survival and reproduction. So it's just nature. It's meant to happen. In a resource scarce environment, selfish genes survive, but bonobos in that case was different. Below the river, there was a lot of resources and less species to compete against or do that. So bonobos, they didn't need to be selfish. I mean, of course, selfish bonobos. There might have been a selfish bonobo, but the selfish bonobo ate well and reproduced well, but also the selfless bonobos also survived, because even if they give out their food, they had plenty. They had more. So there wasn't any problem. But in the perspective of like the whole group, selfless, like helper's high type of species have a higher chance of survival in the perspective of the whole group, because there might be kids, like young bonobos or old bonobos, or some bonobos who are like doing something and forgot to eat bonobos. Or there might be like a YouTuber bonobo like me who is making videos and forgetting to eat. Who knows? Maybe in 1,000 years, I don't know. So the other bonobo would be like, hey, how's it going? I got you some bananas and some food, would you like to eat? Then they would make a nice relationship. Like, oh, thank you so much for the food. Like it's like plus 5 points inside my mind. Like this two bonobos would be like having a nice friendship. So what that makes is a deep bond between all these bonobos, and that creates a strong neighborhood. Now, don't listen to this as a scientific like article. It's more of a ramble, okay? I'm not here to teach you about bonobos. I'm just here making some funny scenarios. 50% scientific, 50% my own thoughts. So these a lot of bonobos shared food, survived well, and lived happily ever after, and reproduced more. And basically, because of that, the helper's high DNA survived. So what about humans? I think humans are similar because humans didn't live in a resource competitive environment, but humans were able to farm food, domesticate animals, and barley farm, wheat farm, rice farm. We were able to farm food, and technically that is a very, very abundant resource, abundant food. So that brings back to this idea where if food is okay, if food supply is good, then what's next? It's the relationship, it's the bond, it's the protection. You gotta fight some wolf, you gotta fight some lions, you gotta help others when one gets a cold, one gets a flu. If they are selfish, then no one helps this sick human. But if they gave out food to other humans frequently, then if that human catch a cold or catch a bad flu, then other humans would be like, oh hey, you helped me last time, let me help you now. So what that means is every human has a connection between each other. So if one falls, they help them come back up again. So the whole the survival rate of the whole group goes up. So I think that's why the helper's high DNA survived. How long have I been talking? Only 19 minutes. Okay. Anyways. So, I'm pretty done with the talk here. This was a very test recording of this remote portable podcast style recording setup. Isn't it nice here? Isn't it nice? Me being a bonobo right now. Guys, look, helper's high. Look at this scene and be happy. I'm helping you. This is Shinde Hosu. It's like Shinde Lake. It's currently 1 a.m. or something. Nobody's here, and I like the weather right now. It's very, very not too hot, not too cold, and these, I don't know what these are, but it's little giant light bulbs on top of the lake. It looks nice. Let me show you. Oh, looks pretty, right? I could talk like this too. And yeah. So hope you have a good day. Since I have a lot of helpers high DNA, I have a tendency to help others a lot. If I have a lot of kids, then maybe Korea would, become more of a helpers high country. Because think about it. If a selfish people don't reproduce and a selfless people or a helpers high person like me reproduce more, then the ratio or the DNA increases. Anyways, I hope you liked it. Bye. That was fun.